I'm Taeaolelei. I am Fabiefara Filo-Masoe. We are the daughters of the late Filo-Masoe and the late Faro-Masoe from the villages of Asau, Safune, Salulonga, Sa'anapu, and Alafua in Samoa.
Taeaolelei, my name is Sosefina Filo-Masoe.
Taeaolelei, my name is Miracle Filo-Masoe.
Taeaolelei, my name is Taeaolelei Filo-Masoe.
But growing up in Samoa, you're surrounded by flowers, like beautiful, beautiful flowers. And you're talking hibiscus, frangipani, portrayed, orchids, the likes. And you always see your grandma. We always see our grandma. Wake up in the morning, get out of the house, and the outside is right there. Outside, pick it up, wear one, and then obviously that carries on to my mom. Our mom is the queen. Our mom always have her flowers too. So we grew up and we were surrounded by it. And so we're growing up and wearing flowers too, But for me personally, this was more conscious when we left Samoa, moving to New Zealand. I wear a flower consciously because it reminds me of home. Homesick comes in, And so to wear a flower, you want to show your pride in your culture and also the homeland that you've just left. And so for me, that's what it was. It was just a sense of home, remind me of home. And just wearing a flower was like, cool. I can carry my home with me everywhere. And then also, the more we wear it, the more I wear it, the more people ask, where are you from? And then that's the more I can tell about my home. And so for me, it was just the connectedness, connecting me to Samoa. And obviously, right now, Samoa is where, Samoa's home, where the heart is, and so it connects us to our family.
Me, it was because of Mom. She always wear flowers, so whenever she goes anywhere, she always loved to wear flowers. So for me, it's like having her with me. So
Nice. I usually wear a flower when I feel really confident. And when I see my sisters wear it, it's really nice. Yeah. So I usually wear it to feel nice about myself or to feel good. The colors too.
She has colors for certain mood. Sometimes it's like, are you gonna wear this one? She's like, no, I feel like I want to wear the black one because I'm still wearing a flower, but people can't really tell. But
I don't want it to stand out too much.
So she has certain colors for a certain time. Dad also wear flowers, portrayed. And when we go to the beach and there's flowers, we have lots of photos. We all wear flowers with Dad, red out there. His last time at the hospital, he was always wanting, because it's aircon and ICU and HDU, he has been requesting the gardenia. So the flowers didn't change. So I guess, yes, it's also Mom, but also Dad. But for me, I guess culture is learned. So you also brought up, you adapt, and it just becomes natural. And I guess we always talk about it, we always feel naked if you don't wear a flower, because it's part of who you are.
So I go to Massey University, so I do fashion design, and I just finished honors in fashion design. So for me, this collection, this too, was quite connected to my dad doing stained glass in Samoa. So some of his stained glasses, he does painted, and some of them are actually cut stained glasses, actually pieces. So for me, using the idea of different layer of
just that one now.
Of fabric, and how I can do the embroidery on top of a mesh to a see-through of the stained glass.
Sometimes it's just this richness in our own stories, family history, and oral history. And sometimes because of the fast pace of life and what we're exposed to, that we tend to forget that our stories are more powerful when told in the right light. And then I guess creating whatever we do tells that story, and because there's always richness in our own family stories.
when you think Dusky Maiden, it's just this romanticizing idea of what the Pacific, what paradise is. And you think when you see a Dusky Maiden, postcards, images online of Dusky Maidens, you see a girl on the beach with a flower in her ear, sandy beaches, right? And so straight away, that's what people think of paradise when they go to the islands. That's what they expect to see. And so it's just that romanticizing of Pasifika, of Pacific. Basically, to me, that's what Dusky Maiden is. And, and I always imagine what it was like, because when you see that, and most of Samoan history before Christianity is so taboo, tabu, that we don't talk about. And so, when you see them, I'm like, wow, is that what we looked like back then? And some of the Dusky Maiden images topless, And so I'm like, whoa. But then, and that's a culture that's not talked about. The ladies are out with their breasts, walking around the beach, their hair down, flower in the ear. But I'm like, is that what Samoa looked like back then? How would we know, right? And obviously we watched these films like A Return to Paradise that had that sort of image.
I guess the concept that comes to mind, like exotic, like people outside the Pacific, and I guess like the setting and how they would sit and the placing of the flower. You step back and like, is this how the role of colonization and that kind of trickles down, that structure that sometimes people did have agency, but it may be restricted because of how the structure was. Like how we know with Christianity and all that. So I guess for me it was just that understanding, but also it kind of lifts fire in you that is proving that how we live now does not define how we were in the past.
I remember someone said to me, oh my gosh, you look like a Dusky Maiden. And I just had my hair, I was clothed. I had clothes on, but my hair, because I always have my hair down most of the time. And I had a flower, so it was like Dusky Maiden. So I guess it comes down, and I did not feel insulted when they said that to me, because then for me it was like reframing the way we see Dusky Maiden. And so for me, and this trope, of Dusky Maiden, I don't mind it, to be honest, because I'm like, cool, it's out there now. And so it's up to us to use that as an opportunity to start conversations about the Pacific and how you can reframe people's mind, how you can decolonize, I guess, people's mind, and then talk more about about Samoa, about your culture, about your identity, because we're so resilient. Pasifika people in general, we're so resilient because we've been through so much. Whatever negativity, negative stuff that we're there, we just flip it and see what positive stuff we can get out of it, right? And so so for me, like Dusky Maiden, and I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna own Dusky Maiden.
I'm glad that they took photos. Or even though it could be done in their own way, through their own foreign gaze, but to me at least those photos without we wouldn't have proof of what the photos would be right now. We wouldn't get to have these images to see that these existed. So to me at the same time it's good, but it's also bad at the same time. So depending on it's like knowing if you're interpreting it well or not. Just doing the culture justice, I guess.
And I guess also we see the power of who's imagining is given more space to be the narrative. Yes, we have our stories, but we are given little space for people to explore, for us to be heard. And I guess with that image being circulated back in the past, because then when they think of the Pacific or they even come to the Pacific, they already have a conclusion of what our people look like. If I could say what flower didn't mean for us, wearing it, it's mom and dad. And I guess if I were to use a quote, I don't know, a Queen Salvatore reading we did, and there's a nice tone saying, and it says the pandanus flower has fallen, but its fragrance lingers on. So I guess now both mom and dad are gone. But us wearing flowers or creating things with flowers, it's keeping them in memory, but also keeping their mana alive,
Yes.
Then they're forever with us. So if you were to sum up what flowers meant for us, then it would be mom and dad.